Everything just fell perfectly into place for the Denver Nuggets, as many have wondered what exactly the Nuggets' plans are for having one of the deepest rotations in the NBA after having a season where they did not have any real depth. And now we're all seeing things work out exactly the way that fans are hoping for in a multitude of different ways, while the Nuggets' plans for some rosters, for some rotations, and in general throughout the season have also been revealed as well. There's a lot to go over for the Denver Nuggets right now, guys, and we're going to jump right into it as always. But real quick, if you are part of that 76% that's not subscribed to Nuggets Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily Denver Nuggets updates. We have a lot of great videos coming out for you every single day that you do not want to miss out on. But with all that being said, let's jump right into it. There is a lot to go over on the team right now because, look, as we know, the Denver Nuggets, they made a lot of changes throughout this offseason. They went out there and went from a team that had very little depth whatsoever for new coach David Adelman to work on to having some of the deepest rotations in the NBA. The Nuggets are now a team that many teams are going to fear because of their depth. They went out there and did exactly what they had to do. They followed their offseason plan precisely, and it's worked out thus far. So now that we're looking at things and we're starting to see how the Nuggets are really going to fare when the season gets underway, there has been a lot of discussion surrounding this rotation. What exactly the team is going to look like when we see this obvious starting five here that we all sort of know is Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokić are going to be the starting five. We all know that to be a fact. Outside of then what we're going to see out of a bench unit, which can go a few different ways. I mean, Bruce Brown, Julian Strawther, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, all going to play big roles. But then the questions have lied. Are we going to see Peyton Watson in a role? Will we see Deron Holmes play something? What are we going to see out of guys like Jalen Pickett or one of the rookies or something like that? So there has been a lot of discussion about what exactly the Nuggets are going to do with the rest of their rotation and what exactly their plans are going forwards for this rotation that is heavy on guards and wings, specifically wings, and how they could kind of fare with that. They don't have the best guard depth in the world, so there has been a lot of thought on what exactly the Nuggets can do to sort of fix or figure out this situation. It doesn't need fixing per se, just kind of being solved. And it was mentioned by Bennett DiNardo, Nuggets reporter, that the luxury of Nuggets training camp this year was the peace of mind they already felt about their starting lineup. Even before a minute of practice, the burden of camp was figuring out how other variables fit together. David Adelman has inherited a championship contender from Michael Malone, but he also inherited the baggage from Nikola Jokic's rest minutes. Denver's fatal flaw year after year is now under new oversight, but with access to a deeper tool bag too. The Nuggets offseason moves have introduced an eagerness rather than dread to the process of figuring out their bench. And as David Adelman put it, that's one of the biggest challenges of camp. I'm not worried about how the starters are going to flow together. It's just trying to find the right group with that second unit. We can't be minus 12 every night in those minutes. It's just a killer, and we rarely blew people out because of that. And Adelman's right. When Jokić wasn't there, the Nuggets struggled. That's been the case for years now, that wherever Jokić isn't, whenever he's off the floor, it's just not a team that's functioning as well. The Nuggets, they play Jokić ball. It's because Jokić is the best player in the NBA, it's the right thing to do, but he's not playing 48 minutes a night. So when he comes out, the Nuggets struggle. It's a known fact that they've struggled. They've continued to struggle, and they try to find ways around it, but thus far have come up empty. Now the new coach, they do have a chance to do that with a deeper bench than they've had ever since at least the championship roster. They can do that. They have a chance to really change things because their second unit is going to be better than a lot of other teams' second units. So we consider that, and things do start to look a little bit better. And one of the key pieces is Jonas Valanciunas. Valanciunas said, one thing I want to clarify here is I'm just happy to be here. We have a great opportunity to compete at the highest level. So Valanciunas is someone who's bought in and who's going to be playing a big role with the team going forwards as well. That's something that we do know about this Nuggets team. And with that in mind, DiNardo mentioned the second unit has consisted of Bruce Brown, THJ, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, and Jonas Valanciunas so far. That doesn't indicate a definitive hierarchy, but it does illuminate what Denver's staff felt was the most sensible starting point. And as Adelman put it, the second unit will fluctuate. We'll try different people at different positions. So we're going to see the Nuggets try things out, see what works come the season. It's the beauty of training camp. And Valanciunas spoke on this as well, and just spoke on Peak with the Nuggets, saying, the biggest thing that excites me is the opportunity to win. At my age, I got to put everything into winning. I don't need to improve. I don't need to impress somebody. I want to do everything to win a chip, to go all the way. So I'm here to do whatever. Whatever my role takes, I'm ready to do it. We have a great opportunity to do this. So we all just got to dive in. all of us. And Valanciunas was very good last year. He put up in 18.8 minutes per game between the Wizards and the Kings. He put up 10.4 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists, shooting 55% from the field. And the thing is, what exactly happens going forward? Because we know Valanciunas is a big part of this team. A guy who, for his career in the playoffs, in 58 games that he's appeared in, has put up 13.2 points and 10 rebounds per game. The man's been very, very good in playoff basketball with a good true shooting of 58.6. So we see a lot to like about Val. And I mean, Jokić feels the same way, saying he's definitely talented, definitely a threat, definitely a little different version of me. He's going to help us with a lot of defensive rebounds, especially when we play against small ball lineups. And he can attack those lineups under the basket as well. And we've seen Valanciunas already do that. David Adelman has discussed this as well, saying on Valanciunas, if he'll play with Jokić, yes, those two will play together. What he brings to us is a go-to post-up player, proven commodity, and incredible offensive rebounder. Very underrated dribble handoff guy and can play that second side as well. And as Bruce Brown said, the Nuggets have played their bench lineup through Jonas Valanciunas, saying we were rolling. We were playing through Val like the first unit plays through Jokic. So we're seeing Valanciunas kind of be this Jokic light guy who they have gone to time and time again. And that does make sense for a Nuggets team. One of the things the Nuggets haven't been able to do because of lack of big men behind Nikola Jokić is find a way to keep running the ball through a big man. They now have a big man who is very similar to Jokic. I mean, obviously, way not nearly as good, especially from the shooting perspective, but he's a good mid-range shooter. And on top of that, you now have another guy to work through the high post. Instead of changing the way you play, go into a very heavy pick and roll set that usually involves Jamal Murray, now we get to see a completely different lineup that sort of mirrors the way that the Nuggets do play with Jokic, except with Jonas Valanciunas doing what Jokic already does. It's what makes it interesting to see how they're going to fare together on the court, because Jokic will be the high post playmaker, so they'll have Valanciunas probably somewhere around a dunker spot. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like with 3 guys out, 1 guy at the high post, and then 1 on the inside. It'll be interesting to see how they work that out, but we're going to see different looks. But mainly, we're also going to be able to see the same thing the Nuggets do on offense with Jokic, except just Valanciunas running the show when Jokic is off the court, and that likely will help with the plus-minus issues. I expect it to. And so does David Adelman, who said they're still working at this, saying this has been good for him to get used to our system a little bit. He hasn't done this stuff outside of a couple months in Sacramento, playing off the elbow in the top of the key. So I have to do him a service. We've got to get some post-up plays and things that he's used to as well. The Nuggets are finding the exact right way to do this. It's one of the reasons why David Adelman has been so good thus far. Everything we hear from him, he's doing things the right way. It's working for the Nuggets, and it looks like it's going to continue to work moving forwards, and I'm really excited to see how all that plays out. Guys, what do you think about this? Do you think it's right to play through Valanciunas when Jokic is off the floor? Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this Nuggets team, your expectations of the bench unit. Give me all that in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.